Hello and welcome. My name is Meepolis, they, she, he, and this is Literally Graphic. And today we are looking at Black AF, America's Sweetheart, a follow-up to the comic I reviewed about a year and a half ago entitled Black. This trade was published in 2017 by Black Mask and it's rated teen. The creative team on this volume includes Osajyefo, design by Tim Smith III, cover art by Sho Moraes, interior art by Jennifer Johnson, and letters by Dave Sharp. Content notes for interracial adoption, sentient liquid, military-industrial complex, and hospitalization. As per usual, please reference my review of the previous volume for biographies of Kwanzaa, Tim Smith III, and David Sharp. Looking at the newcomers, according to a website focused on raising funds to assist Sho Moraes with the financial toll of battling a rare kidney disease, see healshow.com for more information on how to support. She describes herself as a, quote, visual artist working in San Francisco. Born in Japan and raised in Spain, her unique cultural richness and sensibilities are reflected in her visual style. She has worked in the fine art and entertainment industry in a variety of formats, including animation, graphic novels, comics, and gallery exhibitions. And according to an interview with her on Women Write About Comics, Jessica Johnson is, quote, a full-time game artist and illustrator from Toronto with a penchant for sci-fi, comics, and film. As a concept artist, she produces illustrations that help game designers realize their vision, determining the overall look and feel of the game. In the past few years, she's also provided art direction and illustration on numerous media projects. End quote. And taking a brief aside, the Black YouTuber I wanted to highlight in this review is Jessica Owens, creator of the Book Community series. She's obviously a lot more popular than me, although the difference between our two channels might mean that some of y'all aren't already following her. Beyond her penchant for keeping me abreast of publishing news, I am finding her recent emphasis on nonfiction reads very interesting alongside her reviews of genre fiction. Link in the cards. Circling back, the keywords that came to mind reading this book were color, heritage, family, American, military, and coming of age. The summary is, quote, can a black woman be America's first superhero? Eli Franklin is a 15-year-old girl living in rural Montana, and she just happens to be the most powerful person on the planet. In the aftermath of the world learning that only black people have superpowers, Eli makes her debut as a superhero good girl and quell the fear of empowered blacks. When a super terrorist threatens to take away everything Eli has worked towards, will donning a patriotic costume be enough for her to find acceptance? End quote. Looking at the art, while I'm always a big fan of dynamic black and white art, I really enjoyed the way color was used in this volume and can see it bringing in more people, as my opinion about black and white art is a bit in the minority. The frames and page layouts were professional and nicely balanced, and the dialogue boxes were distinctly above average, in my opinion. As far as writing goes, I also found this volume interesting and fast-paced, taking many aspects of classic superhero stories and running with it in a direction that kept me very much engaged. Race was obviously pretty central to the premise of the Black AF series. Personally, I found Eli Franklin being a black adoptee in a white family, especially one involved so directly with the American government, added a lot to the story through show, not tell. Gender seemed pretty binary, but leans towards the woman side of things in a way that I thought was pulled off well. Eli Franklin faces a lot of questions as she comes into herself that have really stuck with me since I finished reading. Sexuality felt like it took enough of a backseat that the lack of obvious queerness didn't make it feel overwhelmingly hetero either. In other words, family is an important aspect of the story, but our main protagonist is allowed to be a young woman focused on her own self-development in a way that doesn't involve romantic entanglements. And while the characters are of a class where money doesn't appear to be an issue, this felt like more of a choice that adds to the premise rather than a default. So something. Ability and disability was also not included in the way I generally look for, which I will point out is a bit silly, as including the bare minimum of visibly disabled people in crowd scenes is really not that hard. Although superhero comics that deal with first to general population almost always inspire questions about people who used to feel they were the peak of human ability suddenly not being that. I mean, generally this results in fear and lashing out, but I feel like I live in hope of a more productive and introspective take. To conclude, I liked Volume 1, but this felt like a lot of thought really went into how to continue to develop the series, and so Volume 2 struck me as even better. Not how things generally go. So I did end up rating this 4 out of 5 stars. Bye y'all, keep reading and organize to end capitalist oppression. And as always, Literally Graphic is created on land that should be given back to the traditional landholders, which in this case is, to my knowledge, the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation, non-Anishinaabe people, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, and the Huron-Wendat Nation.